From beers being linked to health concerns to beers being quietly brewed with chemicals, these are the 5 dangerous beer brands you must avoid, and 2 that are actually safe. Number 5. Bud Light. Bud Light isn't brewed, it's engineered. Marketed as clean and refreshing, this beer is built around rice and corn syrup, not traditional malted barley. And that choice isn't about taste, it's about cost, speed, and control. Corn syrup allows brewers to strip flavor, then rebuild it artificially, creating a product that looks like beer but behaves more like processed alcohol. Independent lab screenings of mass-market beers have repeatedly detected trace glyphosate residues, the controversial herbicide sprayed on conventionally grown corn and grains. Regulators call these levels acceptable, but toxicologists warn that cumulative exposure from food and drink is rarely evaluated as a whole. Bud Light also replaces real hops with hop extract, removing naturally occurring antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds found in traditionally brewed beer. The ultrafiltration process strips out nearly everything that once made beer food. What remains is alcohol, water, and chemically controlled consistency. The danger isn't panic, it's normalization. Millions drink Bud Light every week believing it's harmless, without realizing how far removed it is from real brewing. Number 4. Coors Light. Coors Light sells purity, icy mountains, and crystal clarity. But in brewing, extreme clarity is often a warning sign. Coors Light relies heavily on genetically modified corn syrup and refined adjunct grains instead of whole malted barley. This allows faster fermentation and predictable output, but at the cost of nutrition and complexity. Independent testing has found detectable pesticide residues linked to herbicide-treated corn and barley. While these levels meet legal thresholds, researchers studying long-term exposure warn that repeated low doses across years matter far more than single measurements. Instead of whole hops, Coors Light uses hop extract oils, delivering bitterness while eliminating naturally occurring antioxidants and anti-inflammatory benefits. Coors Light also uses isinglass, a fining agent derived from fish bladders. There is no labeling requirement, meaning drinkers are often unaware they're consuming animal byproducts. The beer also contains caramel coloring, used to maintain a uniform appearance across massive production runs. These colorings can form 4-methylimidazole, a compound linked to cancer in laboratory studies and regulated with warning labels in some regions. And to prevent cloudiness and extend shelf life, Coors Light relies on synthetic stabilizers, additives never used in traditional brewing. Number 3. Miller Lite. Miller Lite didn't just create light beer. It pioneered industrial brewing shortcuts that still dominate today. The beer relies heavily on genetically modified corn derivatives, with barley playing a secondary role. That shift isn't about taste, it's about replacing real ingredients with cheaper, more controllable inputs. Independent residue testing has consistently placed Miller Lite among beers with higher glyphosate detections, linked to corn-heavy formulations and herbicide-treated grains. Miller Lite also contains caramel coloring used to standardize appearance across massive production runs. Certain caramel colors can form 4-methylimidazole during manufacturing, a compound flagged in animal studies and regulated with warning labels in places like California. Artificial hop extract replaces whole hops, stripping away antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. Foam is maintained using propylene glycol alginate, a synthetic stabilizer avoided by many traditional brewers. The aluminum cans are lined with BPA, a hormone-disrupting compound shown to leach into beverages. What makes Miller Lite especially concerning is its role as an everyday beer, meaning regular drinkers quietly accumulate exposure to these additives year after year. Number 2. Heineken. Heineken's green bottle suggests heritage, but inside is a globally standardized factory product. The beer uses adjunct grains and stabilizers to ensure identical flavor across continents, then pasteurizes the liquid to extend shelf life, killing yeast and removing naturally beneficial compounds in the process. Heineken uses a yeast strain known to produce higher levels of acetaldehyde, a toxic byproduct linked to hangovers, inflammation, and cellular stress. European screening reports have detected glyphosate residues tied to non-organic barley sourcing. To maintain its signature golden color worldwide, Heineken uses caramel coloring, specifically formulations that can produce 4-methylimidazole during processing. While legally permitted, this compound has raised health concerns and is restricted or labeled in some regions. The iconic green bottle allows significant light penetration, causing photodegradation and skunky off flavors. Rather than changing packaging, Heineken compensates with additional stabilizers and preservatives, including potassium metabisulfite, a compound known to trigger severe reactions in people with sulfite sensitivities, yet no warning appears on the label. Number 1. Corona Extra. Behind Corona's carefree beach image is a beer engineered for long-distance shipping and mass appeal, not traditional brewing integrity. The clear bottle accelerates light damage, creating off flavors and oxidative stress. To maintain consistency during transport from Mexico, Corona uses propylene glycol, a synthetic stabilizer designed to prevent texture and color changes over time, an additive completely absent from classic beer recipes. Small amounts of high-fructose corn syrup are added to rebalance flavors stripped away during heavy processing and long shelf life requirements. Modified food starch derived from corn is used to improve foam retention, another chemical shortcut avoided by craft brewers. Laboratory testing of popular beers has revealed elevated glyphosate herbicide residues in Corona, with the brand ranking among the higher results for contamination, likely tied to genetically modified corn and conventionally farmed grains. Even the lime wedge has a history. Early drinkers reportedly used it to mask flavor inconsistencies. Corona isn't light and natural. It's chemically managed to feel effortless. Safe beer brands coming up next. But before we continue, please hit like and subscribe. Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Sierra Nevada proves that beer can succeed without cutting corners. The pale ale is brewed using only 4 ingredients: malted barley, whole cone hops, yeast, and water. Nothing else. No corn syrup, no rice, no caramel coloring, no stabilizers. Every ingredient is sourced for quality, not cost. Sierra Nevada owns and operates its own hop farm and works closely with growers who follow strict agricultural protocols. Hops are tested regularly, and pesticide use is tightly controlled. The brewery uses 100% whole cone hops, never extracts or isolates, preserving the natural oils, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds that industrial brewing strips away. Sierra Nevada has also invested heavily in solar energy and water reclamation, showing that sustainability extends beyond marketing into sourcing and production. Sierra Nevada proves scale doesn't require secrecy. The brewery publishes detailed transparency reports, including hop varieties, barley origins, and water sources, a level of openness large-scale industrial brewers avoid. This is beer built on transparency, patience, and real ingredients, not chemical correction. Allagash White. Allagash White follows Belgian craft tradition with modern integrity. Ingredients are real. Nothing synthetic. Nothing hidden. Whenever possible, Allagash uses organic wheat and barley, working closely with farmers who prioritize soil health and minimal chemical intervention. The brewery relies on traditional Belgian yeast strains, allowing complex flavors to develop naturally through fermentation. There are no enzymes and no artificial accelerants. Flavor comes from patience, not processing. The signature spice notes in Allagash White come from real coriander seeds and dried orange peel, added directly during brewing, not artificial flavorings or extracts. The beer is bottle conditioned, meaning it undergoes a secondary fermentation inside the bottle. This creates natural carbonation and allows the beer to continue developing character over time, without forced CO2 or chemical stabilizers. Allagash White proves that a light, refreshing wheat beer doesn't require corn syrup or rice. The brewery is a certified B Corporation, meeting strict standards for social and environmental responsibility across its entire supply chain. Independent testing has shown 0 detectable glyphosate contamination and no synthetic additives.